This story begins when I was 13 years old, when my mother was diagnosed with cancer. I remember how scared and alone I felt, not really knowing what will happen next. And I wondered whether she would die, how long she had left. I wondered if she would be around to see me grow older, to see my children one day. And it was a very tough time for us. I remember coming home from school, seeing her laying on the couch, feeling absolutely exhausted, often in tears, unable to work. And I was only 13 years old back then, so I didn't really know what was going on, the full capacity of the situation. Through a course of miraculous events during that time, my mother reversed her cancer 100% without the help of drugs or the medical system. She did it completely on her own, with the knowledge she was able to gather at that time. And now, more than a decade later, she's one of the healthiest people I know, and makes me cry every time I think about it. But she was able to stick around long enough to see my daughter. Now, although I didn't know it at the time, what happened at that time prepared me for a life of amazing health. It planted a seed in me, a thought that perhaps there is a simple answer to all the health challenges we face today in the world, and that it has nothing to do with the standard medical school of thought, the standard medical model. Since then, I've been on an incredible journey in my life in the area of health, one which has led me to discovering what I'm going to share here with you. Throughout my experience, I've learned that there's a science, a recipe, if you say, to feeling great, to having an abundance of energy and a rock solid immune system. Now, if you do these things, you'll simply feel good and you won't get sick, and your body's healing system will be rapidly accelerated. Most people have no idea what this recipe is or that it even exists, and they're living a life in the dark, flooded by an ever growing abundance of confusion and misinformation from the media, which now more than ever is as loud as it could be. Likewise, there's also a recipe for serious illness, a recipe for low energy and depression, obesity and confusion. And most people are following this recipe without even knowing about it. Today, all the members of my family follow these principles, and as a result, we experience spectacular health. For example, I never get sick. I haven't gotten sick for over 3 years. I used to get sick every single month or two with a cold, a headache, a flu. I never worry about getting sick ever again. For example, this whole swine flu thing that's going around, this craziness, it doesn't even affect our family. We don't even think about it. The other thing that happens when you follow these principles, and possibly is one of the most enjoyable aspects, besides having an amazing amount of energy, is your emotional state. You simply feel good most of the time, and your emotions are much more even. Before applying these principles into my life, I would often experience ups and downs, feeling good one day and feeling bad the other. It's just a normal part of life that most people learn to accept. What I began to notice as I applied these things, the emotional roller coaster simply goes away. You just feel awesome most of the time. Even when bad shit happens to you, you just feel good. It's not that you're swimming in euphoria all the time or that you're in a permanent state, permanent high emotional state. That's impossible. And it's nothing to do with that. And it's really hard to describe it. It's like trying to describe what a rose is to someone who's never seen or smelt one before. Overall, you just feel more balanced, stable, your mind is clear, and you have a sense of energy and creativity. This is all because the body is one whole thing. Everything inside of you is connected, and your emotional state is often the symptom of what's going on inside of you on a molecular, cellular level. After all, how you feel on a regular basis is pretty much the quality of your life. If you feel all right most of the time, you've got an all right life. If you feel tired and exhausted most of the time, you've got a tired and exhausted life. This is why I enjoy this aspect most of all, because it has changed the quality of my everyday existence so much. I feel truly grateful for that. I'd like to share all these things with you in my course, The 7 Ancient Health Secrets, which is coming out in December, and in a series of free videos which I'll be sending to you over the next few weeks. Now remember, I'm I'm not a doctor or a scientist or anything. I'm just a regular guy who just happened to figure this stuff out and implement it into my life. And I'm here to say that you can do this too, and it's really easy. If you'd like to hear more of my story and get the next free video, in which I'll be talking about the first secret, one that takes only 5 minutes to apply every day, which you will be able to use to get immediate results, enter your email on the right here and click the button, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you very much.